What's up today, guys? Today, we're gonna beat the heck out of my truck. So we are gonna beat it out, just in not the way some people would think. My truck was totaled when someone failed to yield. I drove it home. It runs and drives. It's March of 2025. I was planning to, last Labor Day 2024, I was planning to do a lot of the work, but things kind of happened and I didn't quite get the time to do it because the front's pretty messed up and I'm going to have to take the whole front clip off. So my goal for this winter was to take care of the back half up to, well, basically here. Here's my back half where my damage is. I need to get it so I can get a tail light in it to make it street legal again, and then just kind of work out some of this metal. Now I went ahead, I bought the book, I bought it a long time ago, the Martin Tool and Forge, The Key to Metal Bumping. I've read it a couple times. And I have sheet metal working experience. And my goal for this isn't to make it pristine. We aren't restoring it. My goal is to just kind of bring it all back, make it so it doesn't look as bad, make it so we can functionally use that as it was, the pocket for the tail light, because it's pretty messed up. The van actually hit the front end of the van that hit me, hit up front first, and then swung around. At some point hits both of these spots. So we got a bit of work to do. Probably gonna just put music on because you just watch me work out this side, and then I'll try to get to the front at some point, hopefully when it's a little warmer. Granted, it's nice now. It's supposed to be 70 Monday, but next Saturday again is in the 50s with wind, and today's kind of windy and in the 60s. So, I mean, livable, but not as pleasant to be outside. It's nice in the sunshine outside out of the wind, but our goal is to just try to work this over today, see how far we can get. It's going to take me a little bit. This isn't the first time I started this video. Again, I tried starting a video back in Labor Day, but didn't quite get anywhere. So, I'd like to use my truck. I've been relying on everybody else for the last 2 years. To sell my Volkswagen, keep this. So, without ado, let's get started. One of the nice things about working on a truck is you got a nice workbench, the tailgate. Now, I'm going to try to follow what the book says, but I don't know if I'm going to exactly be able to follow it the whole time. Kind of work from the end of the damage to the beginning of the damage, back to front, if that makes sense. Like if when it hit here, I'm going to work this back this way. Obviously, we'll work it out, but you're looking for which side, where the damage started. Like if it came down from here, if it was to come down from here, like on this, I'm going to start down here, working my way back up this way. And you just kind of got to read the metal, and sometimes the metal will pop out. I'm trying not to cave and pave, because I'm not going to pave. So I got a lot of work to do ahead of me. I got some tricky spots. I may have to put a, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up in this single wall up to here. This, squinched in on the double wall there, the backside. So I may have to pop a hole in there and just weld it in later. I don't know. We'll just kind of get started. I'm going to put some earplugs in, pop on a podcast, and get started. Okay, so I'm not sure when I stopped recording or if I didn't start recording from the beginning. But what you may or may not have seen, I won't know until I edit it, is me using my foot hammer to work this out. I worked this out as well. Believe it or not, there's a lot of dirt and rust that falls out under this truck. You would not believe it from looking at this truck, that it would have rust. So got this support. There's a support in here. I can kind of kink it up a little bit. But I got that worked out, and that's allowing me to move this out, which will allow me to get up in here, hopefully. This isn't pretty. I'm going to have to do some more work. I'm going to have to get either make one or see if I got one a little bit smaller die. Dolly. So I'll get that out pretty good. Now here's a trick. When beating on metal on metal, it'll stretch. And as long as one side is not hard, it won't stretch. So I'm gonna keep going here. Day 2 of doing this. I got a lot of it roughed in. I just tried using the suction cup yesterday. Didn't work, so I went and got the fancy windshield ones I got, and I don't know if they worked, but more or less I kind of fell a couple times because they got decent suction, but they didn't do the job. So I'm gonna try to work this out so we can bring this out, but think these have been causing my short on the battery because they've been open to atmosphere. Got dielectric grease all over them and dust. Using some electromotive cleaner. Problem is I got a broken bulb, and I really think that's the culprit to a lot of my issues. There we go. I'll find it here in a bit. Figured that glass would shine. But I guess not. Alright, well, let's clean this out. That bulb looks okay. That bulb looks okay. Feel okay. I've had a lot of issues with this tail light not working in the past. I'm still trying to find that piece of glass. I don't want to be laying on that here after a while. Anyways, kind of got this situated to where we can put this all back together. I know that's not going to fit quite right because this side panel's whoosh. I may come out and work on it a little bit more, but we'll see. Need to think it over. Maybe I'll use some glue strips to pull it out. Haven't decided yet. Haven't made that investment yet either. So got the wiring situated. I need to get another one of these clips. So I'll probably get 4 just in case. I had to break that one. So all right. So I went ahead and bought some stuff from Kiko. Body repair. Black ice pull tabs. I got this cheap eBay PDR tab puller. It fits. I did have to make an adapter. I tried to knurl it, but it wobbled a little too much. But I had to make a 5/8 11 adapter for the M10, I think it was, threads. I got my 5-pound sledge, or my slide hammer. I don't know if it's too much. Temp gun, heat gun, and I got their glue gun, which I'm preheating. I got some root beer glue pull tab. It's kind of high humidity today. Hopefully that works. It just rained last night. And I got some cleaner. So I'm not going to say too much. I watched their video, wrote some instructions on what to do. We'll see how this turns out. start to wrap up the video here. I got the clearance on this. It looks worse because there's a big old gap there, but gotten the panel kind of worked out. It's oil canning right in here, but most of it, I was trying to get this oil can pulled out and then trying to work these creases out to get it locked in, but I haven't been able to do that because it is low there. A little heat would do it, but yeah, I don't know. I can get the taillight in. It doesn't look half bad. I mean, it's going to take some more work, but for now, to get it street legal, back on the road, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to have to do a little bit of tweaking, but that's nothing too hard. So with that, I'm going to end the video here. As far as the PDR stuff, let's talk about. As far as what I managed to do on this, I think I managing my expectations on it. It's not going to be a cure-all to fix it. You can obviously see with the light on it now that it is wavy as heck. It kind of is what it is. I just kind of got to work through it and try to see what I can fix on it. I might come back again and hit it later this week, trying to knock some of this down, or maybe next week, and next week would probably be better. It's supposed to be a little warmer. Try to work on it more. Mostly I just get a little impatient, so that causes me some issues because that glue has to kind of firm up a little bit. So maybe I won't end the video here, maybe I will. Well, it's taken me a couple weeks to get back to this, but I've had some ideas how to fix this, so letting the glue gun heat up and then kind of continue on to try to alleviate some of our issues we still have. Go from there. Using those airbags, pushing this oil can out and extending it, and then trying to work these other spots and trying to lock that oil can in so it wouldn't pop back in. But I did not do that because it just popped right back in. Although this has worked out more, these corners are a little low. I tried working it with the hammers. Let me go get my taillight lens and see how that. I think realistically this will work. There's not as big a gap. I mean, there's a huge gap at the bottom, but to get it street legal and back on the road and usable, I think this will work. Of course, this panel really ought to be replaced. I mean, it's rusty, so that might be something to look at down the road. But for now, just so I can have a truck to you know, do my motorcycle stuff and my car related stuff and just have a four-wheel drive truck. You know, just the fun of this 400 small block. I think this will work. I think this will pass. I was trying to get it worked down a little bit so it wouldn't make a bunch of wind noise, but yeah, I think this will work. Fortunately or unfortunately, I realized that my ground wire was broke. So I'm going to repair that, because if I don't do it now, I will most likely forget. Wasn't planning to do any wiring today, but well, it's just the way it's going to go today, I guess. So I'll have to get that. Alright, so we got that situated. Got some dielectric grease on it. Cleaned it with brake clean first. Kind of took care of that. I don't remember which light's which. So hopefully where I put it is obviously the small one goes where the small one goes. But I don't. There's supposed to be a stop in that. That's what that is. All right. Brake light should be, I think. I mean, worst case scenario, I just have to take this all back apart, you know. Say it's being a little bit tricky. Not the funnest day. Look at this one, man. More screw right there. Okay. All of this looks good. Now we just have to get the taillight lens on. Kind of went ahead and got one screw started. So that way it would hold. Kind of a big thing. It's been 2 years since this has had a taillight. Hopefully I can shut the tailgate. Guess we'll find out here after a bit. Still got some glue to get rid of here, but that's okay. That'll come off this summer when it's 112. Alright, well, I kind of accomplished what I was hoping to in this video, which was to get it so I could get the taillight in and usable. So we got that. I think I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thanks for watching. Definitely stay tuned for more. I'm hoping to do the front clip in July. We'll see about that. That's going to be a big undertaking, and then we still have a lot of other stuff to take care of. I could still work out some of these dents at some point in time. I need to put the windshield, the new windshield in it, and the exhaust is totally gone. I mean, it sounds really good, but I don't think it's going to be street legal, which is what my goal is. It was a quiet truck, you know, full-length exhaust, dual full-length exhaust, and it was kind of nice just to listen to the radio, and when you got on it, you heard it, but the rest of the time it was incognito, as one would say. So anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.